There we go. We're live now, baby.
Bring it in,
Scrooge. Bring it in, baby.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pattison Ave Phanatics on this Monday night. My co-host tonight is Mr. AA Alan Ave Phanatics. What is going on, my brother?
What's going on, Mike Fuji? How are you, man? I'm happy to be here. It's Monday night. Everybody knows Mondays are rough, but
we're coming
we do our
off.
thing.
Everybody, I'm sure, had a peaceful Sunday watching those Detroit Lions lose, those Green Bay Packers moving the Philadelphia Eagles into the #1 seed. As you look at the background, you see the leap by number 26 of the Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley, with the leap against the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. Alan, it's exactly one day that Mr. Barkley did that leap, and we were both at that game.
Yes, sir. 1 year ago, man, it was a beautiful thing. I remember turning to my left and looking at my father and going, "Did we really just did? Is that what?" You know, it was confusion, excitement, all at the same time. It was an amazing play, and you know, helped lead to a Super Bowl victory, baby.
We should have Ed Kracz from Eagles beat writer from Sports Illustrated joining us probably in about around 8:40, 8:45. How he's just out there wheeling and dealing.
He is.
3 trades within a week, bringing in Jalen Phillips this morning. First thing, Adam Schefter broke it on ESPN, giving up the 3rd-round 2026 pick. Saturday went after Jair Alexander, I believe, trading a 6th-round pick and getting Jair Alexander in a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, man. Out of Baltimore, right?
Yeah, and then trading John Mechie for Michael Carter. I know they flip-flop draft picks there as well. So, let me ask you this before Ed jumps on. Do you think Howie's done trading?
I don't think Howie's done yet. I really don't think he's done yet. I heard you keep hearing rumors about Myles Garrett, but he signed that huge contract with Cleveland last year for $95 billion, whatever dollars it was. You know what I mean? Like crazy contract. So, if you could bring a dude like Myles Garrett into Philadelphia,
I don't see how you're going to afford it because.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
You got to pay Jordan Davis. You're going to have to pay Jalen Carter.
Yep.
You're going to have Nakobe Dean's another free agent after this year.
Yep.
You're going to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in 2 years.
Eventually, yep. You're going to have to pay the defense. So I think all the rumor mills and all that about Myles Garrett coming to Philly are total. Just rumor mills. I don't even know if you can afford them. We definitely couldn't afford them. Yeah, we definitely could not afford them.
The Eagles have the highest payroll and offense in the NFL. Yep. And probably one of the lower defense, but you're tied up in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert's a free agent after this year.
Yep. You got Jalen's contract. You got Saquon. You got the offensive line. I believe the offensive line is pretty much strapped in there. Contractual, wise. But you got the young guys on D that you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to spread the money around. In the next couple of years, it's gonna look different. Different.
Well, that's what's gonna have to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if A.J. Brown's traded after this season. Then again, it all comes down to what's going against the salary cap too.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't afford to pay everybody. This is what happened this past offseason.
Exactly. Yep. And we saw it on the defensive side of the ball. We kept you know, because they were already under contract, right? But we lost the guys who were ending contracts last year, primarily on the defensive side, which
All right.
which has hurt us. I'm really interested in the kid from the Jets. God, what's
Michael
his name?
Carter.
Michael Carter.
Oh yeah,
Michael Carter
man.
from the Jets. What is he? 5 years in the league, and he gave up like 3 touchdowns. I don't know if that's a realistic stat, if he actually did that, or if that was
I mean, you're talking for this season or
no.
in
It
his
said five.
career.
It said yeah. The meme or the thing that I'd seen online said five touchdowns. There are 5 seasons, 3 touchdowns allowed. I don't know if that's accurate. Let me look him up right now. Yeah,
Oh,
but I mean,
know.
if he's that damn good,
Well, I mean, the bottom line is he going to play the slot, or is he going to play outside, or is Cooper DeJean going to play outside? I mean, you're talking 2 slot corners here.
Yep.
Well, obviously, if Jair Alexander can stay healthy and stay on the field, he's going to play opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Like I said, we got Ed coming on in a few minutes, so he'll be able to decipher how to break down what this new defense is going to look like starting a week from the night in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be important because I know Green Bay dropped it this past weekend, but they are a dangerous team that you can't take lightly. We're going out there to Green Bay. That's a tough place to play. I mean, Lambeau Field.
Yeah, but we've seen that Green Bay's number, but they did lose their tight end yesterday, Tucker Kraft, due to an ACL tear. So,
okay.
So that might be, Carolina went into Green Bay, and I mean, Carolina's 5-4. I mean, they're not playing bad football right now.
No, not at all. Not at all. Dude, there's really not a team in the NFL playing bad football except for maybe the Browns. But even they're competitive. Everyone's competitive. Everyone in this league is competitive. Where we had, we grew up where there was years where, you versed the Browns and you knew it was just a automatic, romp.
I think after last night, I think Washington's packed it in. This is like Jaden Daniels' second injury this year, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see the Eagles having a problem with the Commanders down the road.
No, those back-to-back games there.
I mean, that's Washington,
almost
Buffalo,
back-to-back.
Washington.
You got Buffalo. Yeah, you got Buffalo right there, and it's smack dab in the middle of them.
But that last game of the year here against Washington probably may not even mean jack. So.
Yep, that's true. That's true. It might be a rest weekend for us. That would be a beautiful thing. So
well, I mean, the schedules. I mean, this is really where it gets, a little crazy. I mean, I want to dive into it, but I don't know when.
Yeah.
Give Ed a few minutes, but let me ask you this before Ed jumps on. Who would you say your offensive MVP thus far is for the first half of the season?
League-wise or
Eagles.
Eagles-wise,
yeah.
offensive MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say the obvious is Jalen, but I go Devontae Smith and AJ's my Jalen is my quarterback. But right now I think Devontae Smith is probably the offensive MVP. In my opinion there.
I mean, I would go Jalen. I mean,
yeah.
Devontae's not a bad. I mean, you could also go with Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, he's made a very big impact. But then again, you go back, you look at Jalen, right?
Yeah.
He's not turning the ball over.
Right.
He's making good throws, almost on time throws. Creighton plays with his legs, moving the ball himself when he needs to.
Right.
So yeah, maybe you can put Jalen in there as well. Without Jalen, I'm not talking about Devontae. So
right. Not to interrupt you, but we do have Ed Kracz in the
beautiful,
green room.
beautiful.
Let me bring Ed on. Hey, Ed.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good.
Very good, Ed. How are you?
I'm good. Fuji, I got to say, it was great seeing you in the Philadelphia airport on a flight out to Minnesota.
I know. Well, I was like,
yeah, that was cool.
It was great to meet you finally in person.
Yeah.
So you were in front of me and my friend Eric, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's Ed.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah, and I recognized you. I was like, hey, Fuji. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Well, you want to know a story coincidental before we dive in?
Yeah.
I got on the plane ride home. I don't know if you had a layover in Chicago, but
I did not.
But this couple gets on with Eagles Kelly green hats. They're sitting next to me. I'm on the end. Probably about 20 minutes into the flight, I'm talking to the gentleman next to me. Here it's Jihad Campbell's father, and I'm like I had to do a double take. Like really? Like, this is pretty impressive. I run into you going to Minnesota, and Jihad Campbell's parents coming back from Minnesota, which very nice people. I mean, I had a conversation with Mr. Campbell pretty much the whole way home.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. He's probably a good guy. I mean, Jihad seems like a real nice, respectful young man. So he probably got that from his pops.
Definitely. So I'd like to welcome Ed Kracz from SI Sports Illustrated, Eagles beat writer.
Sir, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Ed, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Absolutely. A lot to talk about, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, Ed, let me ask you this. Is how we done wheeling and dealing?
Yeah, you never know with that guy, right? I mean, he's the most active general manager in football, and 3 trades in 6 days probably is done. But, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to move an A.J. Dillon, maybe for a draft pick, if anybody would be interested. I mean, to me, Dillon feels kind of like a spare part with the emergence of Tank Bigsby.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe you try to trade one of these cornerbacks, Keely Ringo, maybe. I don't think they would trade him. He's a very good special teams player. He's only 23 years old. Still a lot of room to grow and learn. So that would surprise me, but they do have a little bit of a log jam now at corner, obviously. Jacorian Bennett probably is going to come back. They opened his practice window 2 weeks ago, so they have, I think, 10 days to make a decision on that. So it's a little crowded there, so maybe they try to trade one of those guys for maybe a pick. But as far as adding players, man, I just don't know. Maybe an offensive line piece for depth. Maybe that's kind of in the works, maybe not a real big name, but somebody, a veteran type player that can bring some depth to, a line that's been banged up. So I don't want to say he's not done or he's done, because you just don't know with Howie.
Yeah.
Right. Alan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just going to ask you, what do you think about the guys he just brought in? You got Jair, you got Michael, and Jalen. Do you think they can be an impact on the defensive side of the ball? I know they've had a few of them have had some injuries. I don't know much about Michael Carter, but I know Jalen and Jair have been, the past few years been battling injuries. But you think that they could be a good fit and contribute on this side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Jair Alexander, I've seen him play, recently, last year and early this year with the Ravens. He just doesn't look obviously like he was with the Packers. Like, it seems like maybe he lost a step. He was a healthy scratch for Baltimore for 5 straight weeks. I mean, why? I mean, is he that ineffective? He could be. I don't know who's going to start on that other corner come Monday night in Green Bay. Obviously, Quinion's got one of them, and then we'll see what they do with Bennett. If they put Ringo back in there, see how Adoree Jackson is with the concussion. Do they throw Alexander in there after just a week or so to prepare? Do they put Cooper DeJean out there full time? Cooper's been playing out there a lot in the base defense, but when they go to the nickel package, he shifts down into the slot, and they would bring in Adoree or Keely Ringo. Does Michael Carter come in now in the slot and start there and leave Cooper out there full time? My understanding is Carter was brought in here as kind of an Avonte Maddox type, where he can be kind of contribute in both as a safety and at nickel corner. Avonte played that role last year. Carter's obviously a lot younger, 26 years old. So maybe he's in that role. I think the one that has the biggest chance to contribute possibly right away is Jalen Phillips. Because him and Fangio were together in Miami when Fangio was the DC there. Fangio loved him down there. So it's probably a scheme that Phillips is familiar with. He could probably hit the ground running, so to speak, quickly and get up to speed and have a package of plays for him. And, but the question with him is his injuries. He's had 2 seasons cut short by them. He was kind of a red flag coming out of UCLA with concussion issues. I think he had retired at one point and decided to come back. So you wonder about that, but he's here. I think they're going to use him, and I think he's got a chance to kind of make that impact right away.
Ed, I was going to ask you, what kind of impact do you think Brandon Graham's going to have?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd play against the Giants. I thought he would have maybe a 10 to 15 snap workload, but they didn't seem like maybe he was ready. Right. So I think that's kind of the role that he's going to probably have initially, is he's going to probably be in that 10 to 15 snap range. Mm-hmm. It could grow in game if something were to happen, if he's playing well, or, maybe you get hurt on the edge. I mean, they've just been hammered with injuries and bad luck on the outside. Nolan Smith hasn't played since week 3. Hopefully he's back for Green Bay. Azeez Ojulari didn't play for the first 5 games, and he gets 1.5 games and he's hurt already. He's on IR. And then you had Darius Smith. He retired. And Agbo Okoronkwo, he tore his triceps, I think it was. He's out. So, I mean, they've had some bad luck out there. So you never know what's going to happen in game. But I think that the immediate role for BG is to just maybe give him 10 to 15 snaps. And, his big role is going to be in the locker room where his teammates love him. He's a big leader. Talks a lot of trash. Maybe teammates feed off of that a little bit, but I think that's kind of where his biggest role is going to be, is inside that locker room and kind of in that leadership role.
Before you, I'm sorry, Fuji. Ed, you led right into my question. I was going to ask whether or not you thought BG would be more of an impact in the locker room or on the field, and in my world of the Philadelphia Eagles, I love BG. I love the fact that he's back. But I don't care if he ever plays a snap this year. I feel like his presence in that locker room it can just make that difference that maybe they were missing. And you kind of led me into it, and so I'm good with that. So, and
even on the sidelines, Al, I mean, and he'll play, he'll have some kind of a snap role, but you're right. Even if he's just in the locker room and even on the sidelines, he sees things, 16 years around the game here in Philadelphia. He sees things that he can point out to guys. Like, I'm surprised he didn't get into coaching maybe. I mean, I know he's got little ones, and coaching's a high time demand, and he just doesn't have that type of time now. He's got little ones. He talked about running them, picking them up from school, taking them to activities. His daughter's doing gymnastics and this and that. So, he's busy with the father role. But I could see, him possibly getting into coaching if he wants to. I mean, he loves being around the game. He's seen a lot. And now he can bring that experience to the locker room and on the sideline during a game. He can be that extra voice that maybe players need to hear, or he sees something that he can point out, and then a player can feed off of that.
Ed, before you jumped on with Alan and myself, we were going over the offensive MVP, defensive MVP, and special teams at the midpoint here now with the Eagles, obviously. But in your opinion, who would you say your offensive MVP is for the first half of the 2025 season?
Yeah, I just posted a story on that maybe an hour ago on SI.com, and my offensive MVP, I said Jalen Hurts. Listen, the guy, he's accounted for 20 touchdowns. He's only turned the ball over twice. One of them was an interception. There's not another quarterback in the league that has only thrown one interception and has played 8 games. He's the only one. So, you see what he's doing. He's not running the ball as much, which I love that fact. I think as he gets older, he needs to kind of scale back on that. He wants to stay healthy for a full season. How many times have we seen him get banged up late in the year and he has to miss games? So, I know you can get hurt in the pocket, but you increase your risk when you're out there running. But with the emergence of Tank Bigsby, maybe, that takes some of the load off of him to run the football. But I would go Jalen Hurts. I just think he's he's completing 70% of his passes. Last year, he had a career high in completion percentage at 68%. So he's above that right now. And I know there's still 9 games to go, but to me, if they didn't have him playing quarterback, I don't think the Eagles are sitting here at 6-2 and with the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs right now if the season ended today.
Right.
I love hearing you say that, Ed, because Jalen's my guy. I he doesn't get the love around the league and the national wise, but around here, I think I can speak for a lot of people who says he's our number 1. He's our guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can't say that. I mean, the guy was the runner-up as an MVP a couple of years ago. He was the Super Bowl MVP. He's won 50 games in his career. Only Eagles quarterback to play in 2 Super Bowls. I mean, really, the only thing missing from that resume, I think, is a 4,000-yard passing season. Only one quarterback has ever done that. That was, of course, Carson Wentz. You'd kind of like to see Jalen and Donovan McNabb would have done it back in, I think, 2008 or 9 when
T.O.
Yeah, well, no, it was after T.O., but he would have. Okay. But Andy sat him for the last 2 games because they couldn't get anything further in the playoffs, so they sat him. I mean, I think he finished with 3,800 yards, so he would have gone over 4,000, but he didn't. So I'd like to see Hurts maybe do that, and maybe with not running as much and looking to make plays down the field, maybe he eventually tops that 4,000-yard mark. But right now, I know Dallas Goedert. I think he was my runner-up offensive MVP. I mean, that guy. And kudos to offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. I know he gets a rough ride with his play calling, but I think he's growing into that role. And I think back in the summer during training camp, he identified Goddard as a red zone target. I can't tell you, Goddard is always very busy in training camp, but it seemed more so they were really getting him the football, and they were doing it a lot when they were inside the red zone. So, he's got 7 touchdowns, career high. 6 of those, I believe, have come inside the red zone. The Eagles have been tremendous, converting 17 of their 20 trips there into touchdowns. And Goddard's a big reason why, but he would be my runner-up, but I still think you got to go with the quarterback of the whole show, Jalen Hurts.
Oh, definitely.
Beautiful.
As far as the defensive side of the ball, who would you name your MVP?
Yeah, I went with Zach Baun. I just think last year you're like, wow, is he really that good? And he really stuffed the stat sheet last year. 5 forced fumbles, 130 or 40 tackles. He hasn't missed a beat. He's come back this year. He's the same guy. He hasn't taken a step back. And I think maybe what an unsung part of what he has done is he's been a great mentor for Jahad Campbell, the rookie coming in. And Campbell sings his praises a lot about how he helps him, on the field, off the field, which is a big adjustment, too, for young kids, rookies coming into the league. even though Jihad grew up close by Philadelphia and has a support system in place.
Right.
It's nice to get it from a fellow teammate, and Vaughn has been there for him with that. And again, he's got, I think, 64 tackles. Just to me, Vaughn has to be the MVP. I mean, he to me is kind of the leader of that defense. You know, you talk about losing guys like BG until he came unretired. You lost Tim, you lost Slay, was a big leader. You know, and now Vaughn has kind of stepped into that vacuum, and I think he's done a great job with it. And his play on the field hasn't really, diminished at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. I love Zach Vaughn. I was screaming after, like, I think the first 3 games of last year that, in my own head, Howie, sign this guy, bring this guy back, make sure he's here. Zach Vaughn was a great addition to our
and Howie prioritized him, and they brought him back 3 years, $51 million, and and he deserves it. I mean, listen, he's still a young kid. He's 28 years old. I think he's still kind of in his prime. But yeah, I went with him as my defense, and my runner-up would probably be, you can make a case for Quinion Mitchell. But I like Jordan Davis, man. I like what Jordan Davis has done this year. He's lost all that weight. His snap total is way up from what it was early in his career. And he's productive. He's got, I think, a bunch of tackles. He's got 3 sacks, which is a career high. He's on the field more in passing downs, had that huge field goal block against the Rams to kind of win that game. And then, puts the icing on the cake with a scoop and score from 61 yards. So I think Jordan Davis in the middle of that line, and he's played every game. Jalen Carter hasn't done that. Guys have missed time. That defensive line has been banged up. But Jordan Davis has answered the bell every single time this year, and he's playing great.
And as far as special teams, would you maybe say Jordan Davis is your special teams MVP right now?
I guess you could because of the block, but I look at a guy like maybe a Jeremiah Trotter who he's one of their top leaders in tackles, on special team tackles, a linebacker who after they drafted Jihad Campbell, he's a backup now, but he's playing great on special teams. And I might look at a Trotter, maybe even a guy like Kylan Granson. I think he was like second in the league in tackles on special teams earlier this year. I don't know where he stands now, but he's got, I think, 10 special teams tackles. Kylan Granson, he's a steady guy. I think he's a very capable tight end if they were ever to need him. But he's very good on special teams too. So you could go Jordan Davis. But I like those guys that can get out and tackle. Keely Ringo is a good special teams player, a good gunner. But yeah, I probably would go Trotter. In that role.
Alan.
Man, I don't even know what to ask you. Well, okay. Predictions. Can we? So, predictions for the second half. We have this. I believe coming back after the bye, if we can win these first 4 games, maybe slip one, but you don't really want to slip any of them. How do you see the second half of the season shaking out? Obviously we're not going undefeated. I don't expect anyone to say that for any squad. But do we go 500 over the next 8?
I hope you do better than that. But the schedule has already been very, very difficult. 6-2, I think, to me, is probably the optimum. If you had to say, hey, what do you hope they are? I would have probably said 6-2. They had 3 straight wins against teams that won their division last year, starting with the Chiefs, then the Rams, then the Bucks. They beat those 3 teams. They were all division champs last year, and the Eagles won. Now coming out of the bye, last year they came out of the bye and they won 10 straight, franchise record, 10 straight wins. I'm not saying they're going to do that, but you come out of the bye and you play the Packers on the road, who is smarting after losing to the Panthers on Sunday on a field goal as time ran out. Micah Parsons was invisible in that game. So you have to think the Packers are going to come in, loaded for bear. Parsons is going to be even more motivated than he usually is. But the Eagles are 4-0 under Nick Sirianni coming out of a bye. So it's not like, there are any slouches here. I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough game. It's always a physical game. You hope the Eagles don't get too banged up in it. Injuries will tell a toll in the second half. You look around the league at what happened yesterday. Daniels gets hurt. Tucker Kraft, the Packers tight end, he's out. McCaffrey, the Commanders receiver, breaks his collarbone. He's out. I mean, every week, Joe Alt re-injures his ankle. He's out for the season. Yeah. San Diego or the Los Angeles Chargers is left tackle, and the Eagles will play the Chargers, and Alt won't be on that team. So injuries are huge every week, and you hope the Eagles can stay healthy in the second half. And after the Packers, you have the Lions at home on a Sunday night. The Lions did a lot of chirping about how they would have beaten the Eagles if they were the team that played them in the NFC Championship game. So, that'll be a tough game. Then you go to Dallas, and say what you want about the Cowboys, but they're very good at home. They're almost a different team at home. So that. Those are three tough games coming right out of the gate after the bye week. So, you hope they can do better than 500. Maybe wins. Maybe they go 6. They have 9 games left. Maybe 6-3 to get to 12-5. I think that would be the best I would hope for. Maybe they win 13. I don't know, but yeah, it's gonna be rough. And again, injuries. You just don't know how that's all going to play out. You have to stay healthy.
Yes.
To win these games.
Well, Ed, Alan and I would like to thank you for coming on the show tonight. We know we're probably a little bit over the time limit.
No worries.
Appreciate you coming on. We will have you back. Hopefully, December come playoff time.
Yeah, sure. You just reach out and I'll see what I can do to help you guys out. I love coming on. It's fun. You guys do a good job. Do a real nice job.
So, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate
it. Having me. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. See you guys.
Later, man.
Ed Kracz, a Sport Eagles beat reporter for Sports Illustrated. Always great to have Ed coming on to chop it up.
That was wonderful. Man, all right. Hey, Fuj, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to take a break from the sports for a minute. And give a little shout out to some broadcasters that meant a lot to people around our area. One, Mr. Definitely. Pierre Robert and Mr. Donahue.
Hold on, one.
What up, boys?
Oh, hey, Mr. Save the World.
I try. One soulless individual at a time, boys. What's going on? Great interview with Ed there. I was trying to get up the stairs and get in, and I was like, I'll just let him finish their thing before I jump on.
No, I didn't.
There we go.
Nice surprise for you to jump on. Sorry.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys letting me on your show. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome in.
You ought to come on once in a while.
Excellent. Well, real quick before you guys get going, let's jump into a little word from our sponsors.
Are you a woman of 18 years of age or older who has thought about playing football? If so, we're looking for you. The Reading Riveters are the area's first all-female tackle football team, and they are looking for players to add to their current roster. All you need is a willingness to learn, and Bob and Katie McKenzie, owner, coaches, and the rest of their amazing staff will take care of the rest. Come on out to their open workouts on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon at Shiloh Hills Park, 303 Sage Drive, Sinking Springs, PA. The Riveters are also excited to announce their combine on Saturday, October 11th from 3 to 6 p.m. So come on out, test your skills, learn the game, and meet the team. Our coaches will guide you through every step of the way. Come see what you're capable of.
All right. No, let's jump in. The first thing I do, throw a commercial up like a heathen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Try to keep the lights on, though. That's how it goes. So I was listening as we were running. So we were going around town, making sure we get our signs up at the polling places. There's 3 polling stations in St. Clair. So We're trying to get all that done. But Fuj, I know you had some questions and stuff for Alan. I didn't do any show prep. What were you guys talking about? Let me jump in on some of that.
Oh, before Ed jumped on, we were talking about, the 3 moves Howie made in the last 6 days, and I threw it out to Alan, who was his MVP, Eagles MVP of the first half of the season.
I caught some of that. I was saying out loud, like Jalen's easy. It's an easy one, but really the consistency that he's played with this season. It's hard not to pick him. You can't go Saquon. You can't go AJ. You might be able to throw Devontae in there. Dallas Goedert's had a last good couple of games, but to like offensively. It's hard. It's hard not to say Jalen right now, man. Especially his most recent game. He's putting up really good numbers. So
absolutely.
It's hard. It's hard not to say QB1.
Yep.
No, without a doubt.
Yep. I said Devontae. You know what I mean? Just because the guy. The guy's smaller than I am out there, fucking killing it every weekend.
True.
But Jalen Jalen's playing lights out. He's my quarterback 1. If I could switch my camera around, you'd see him sitting next to his trophy, smoking his cigar there. He's my guy. So it's hard. It's hard to argue against how he's been playing, especially as of late.
And what's great is you get it's the NFC East is a dumpster fire again.
Yes.
Hate to see what happened. Excuse me. Hate to see what happened to Jaden Daniels yesterday. Terrible. As much as I am pro Eagles, I am pro the teams in our division and in the league itself having all of their players and not the injuries is going to get everyone. As far as I did see you guys talking about some of the pickups that they made. What does that tell you? That tells you that Howie thinks they should be 8-0 right now, and because there was a couple of holes in the defense, that couldn't happen. And as far as Myles Garrett, my gut says Alan to go along with your line of thinking, where it's just rumors. But if any human being on planet Earth can pull this off, it's the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I just don't know how you afford the guy. He just signed a $95 billion contract with the Browns. You know what I mean? Like with 4 years, $95 million or whatever the hell it was. Like, I don't even know how you afford that guy.
That's true.
Unless the Browns pick up, 60 million of it, and then,
wouldn't that be,
I don't know.
Ransom.
And I can't see that happen. And maybe 10 or 20 million of it, just a little incentivize moving him.
Right.
But they're it's like the Browns are always in rebuild mode.
Yeah. Again, do the Browns really want to move Myles Garrett? I mean, he's the best player on their damn team. You know what I mean?
He's a top 5 player in the league.
Yeah,
they could have had Abdul Carter there with that draft pick, but those boneheads traded it.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter went to
the
Giants.
Yeah.
We have a comment here. John Wagner checking in. How we didn't get rid of some of the big guys in their defense last year, we would be 8-0.
True that. Well, some of it moving away from. So I could have sworn they were going to go back after CJGJ when he got released.
Yeah. Well, he got picked up by the Bears.
Yeah, he got picked up by Chicago. Now I'll be interested to see what he does in Chicago. Is this going to be? It's obvious he's an issue in the locker room.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
Yeah, but he
2 teams already this year, right?
Right.
Well,
and now 3rd team. And the Birds didn't go after him when he was out there.
Well,
so
on the flip side of it, he does bring a swag.
True.
He definitely
swagger to the locker.
He definitely does. He brings it to his play on the field too.
And he holds everyone, including himself, accountable. Coaches, players, probably guys at the lunch counter and in the cafeteria over there at the Nova Care Center. So
Right.
Yeah, you put my cheese on sideways.
So
Yeah.
let me throw this question to you guys. Who's your defensive MVP for the first half of the season?
I say Quignon. I love Quignon.
How could it not be?
I love Quignon Mitchell. That kid is something special.
Jalen's a disruptor, but he, the game one of the season, bonehead stunt. And then, he's kind of your unsung. A lot of what he doesn't get, taking on double teams, taking on triple teams at times. It doesn't really get the notoriety what he does. But Quignon Mitchell is just as locked down of a corner as I've seen on this team in a very long time.
Really? Oh, there you go.
Like Ed was saying.
Hall of Fame.
I mean,
let's not get nuts.
I would say Jordan Davis, because 3 sacks is, he is really balling out. I mean, Ed was saying Zach Bond as well.
He didn't. John checking in again. He said he always loved CJ, and he's right. He does bring a swagger, and he never wanted to leave Philly. I think that's the biggest problem. He loved it here. He did love it here, and a lot of us didn't want to see him go. But there had to have been some underlying currents there in that locker room.
If you remember, not to call you guys off after Darius Slay left, he tweeted out about Blankenship being the leader of the secondary, and I think, CJ GJ just, took it to heart, and him and Slay were going back and forth, and I think.
Yep. I do remember that, Fooch. I do remember them going back and forth on social media, bickering, and then before you knew it, CJ was out of here too.
Yeah, but then Slay was running his mouth on the way out the door too.
Well, Slay was already gone. That was the thing. Slay was already gone when all this crap happened. It was like,
yeah, but here's the thing about
why you didn't pay him any mind. I mean,
here's the thing about CJ. He was here 22, and last year he led the team in interceptions with 6 each time.
Right.
And the swag the man brought was second to none.
Absolutely.
I'd still take him with all the headache and all the BS.
Because honestly, I mean, I don't think it's any. I don't think it's a real shock that his 2 stints here, they made it to Super Bowls.
With them back there playing with Blankenship.
Yeah.
Now,
what are our thoughts on the guy from the Jets? I can't remember his name.
Michael
Carter, and then Jair Alexander from the Ravens. What are our thoughts here on these guys back there?
Carter plays the slot just like Cooper to Gene, so that's going to be interesting.
Well, I heard they're going to move Coop to the outside now.
Is that what they're going to do?
Well, that was one of the things they were talking about the other day. They were talking about now they're going to move Cooper to the outside in a small sample size. Early in the season, they had him outside, and he seemed to do well. So, this Carter guy, like it's like one of those no harm, no foul guys, like a Devin White. You brought him in. If he doesn't work out, but it's like risk reward. It's low risk to high reward.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Douglas drafted him when he was the Jets general manager, so obviously Howie was in his ear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see if Jair Alexander can actually get the hell on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's see if they can stay healthy. Yeah, right. I think the edge rusher, Jalen Phillips out of Miami.
He has 3 sacks this year, so
Fangio
loved him when he was in Miami.
Yep. Again, though, if he can stay healthy, he's been hurt the past couple years. But he is right now coming in to here. He was Miami's leading pass rusher. And he had like 3 or 4 sacks. So, I mean, Miami's not a very good football team, but
it's,
You know?
it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Just torch it up. Get him out of the league.
Yeah, I don't. Tua doesn't know where he is half the time. Did you guys see the interview where somebody asked him about Cam Newton's comments, and he was like, "Yeah, well, it's real easy for someone who's never done this to sit there and talk about what I do, but there's not many people who could play quarterback in this league." And I'm like, bro, the dude was an MVP candidate.
Yeah, it's
quarterback
crazy.
in the league. What are you talking about? Like, I think this
crazy.
guy has a right to talk about your play.
Just hope
Yeah.
I just hope that CTE ain't kicking in on him.
Yeah, right.
Not that
Yeah.
it's fun, seriously.
Oh man, poor kid.
Very well could be.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm yawning over here, boys. It's been
It's all
a wild ride.
Wow, we know
It's all good.
you're going through a tough, election.
Not tough. Just making sure you're dotting
a
all your
lot of-
I's and crossing your T's.
Jeez.
That's what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
Kiss babies and all that good stuff.
Let's touch on this Eagles remaining schedule here. Let me see if I have it up here. Well, let's see, fellas. We got the Lions. No, we got the Packers next Monday night. We got Detroit the following Sunday night. Dallas at 4:30. The Bears the day after Thanksgiving. Eagles in LA against the Chargers and back home against the Raiders. And then you got Washington down in DC. You got the Bills up in Buffalo, and you got the Commanders at home to close out the last game of the year. So, the Birds have their work cut out for them probably the next at least 5 or 6 weeks. What's your take, TK?
Look, I just got a feeling, this bye, you're getting a half a dozen guys back off of this bye week.
Right.
Key players, not bench guys. You got key players. You got Cam Jurgens, among AJ Brown. There's a lot of starters coming back this week.
Right.
That coupled with how they've played the last couple of games, I see them starting to get on a run here, starting to get on a roll like they did towards the end of last season. I mean, they were pretty dominant most of the season last season, but I might see maybe 3 losses remaining on the schedule. Maybe.
Right.
I really think they're going to come out and punch some of these teams in the mouth now. Once you acclimate some of these new players that are arriving over this bye week into the system, get them worked into the system, you're creating depth where there was none.
Right.
I think Washington would have done much better in our division had they not been so injury laden all season long. But I think the Eagles are going to be real tough. Are going to be real tough on a lot of schedules coming up for people.
Yep.
The Eagles. They're showing that the Eagles have a gauntlet here, but I think the Eagles are the gauntlet.
If we can stay healthy, Tom, I completely agree with you. That's a fucking that's a Bible. What the hell? Love you, John.
Philadelphia still got one hell of a schedule going on, hoping they can only lose one game. But I got a question for you guys. Maybe just answered it before I got on this. What's your take on AJ Brown? Do you think it will be back next year? Do you think Philadelphia needs him? I love the guy, but is he really true to today's team because he is such a superstar that doesn't get the ball much?
It's a good question.
That's a great question.
God, Al.
I want AJ back. To be honest with you, the cap hit that it would cost you to, unless someone took on that whole contract, it's going to kill you. You almost have to keep him on the team. In my opinion, I mean, I love the guy. He's a hell of a player. He does bitch. And I guess that's
Comes along with the territory.
Yep. I guess he's our modern
day TO. Yeah. But look, you got to give AJ Brown credit. I mean, he's reading a book on the sideline. He's not doing sit-ups in his driveway. So there's a staunch difference between Terrell Owens and everyone else.
Yep. And AJ's not saying his quarterback threw up in the huddle and blew the game.
Yeah, can you imagine? Having a podcast back when T.O. was around? You'd have material every week. You wouldn't have to show prep or nothing. You just jump on and be like, "Just see what he did this week." That's what it was like.
Yep. Oh my goodness gracious!
What's your take, TK?
On?
No, just the whole AJ.
Look, when you see what they did without him this most recent game they played prior to the bye week, he's a superstar, though. And as long as he wants to be here, I don't care if you're pissed you're not getting the ball. I don't play. I want a guy who's mad when he's not. I don't want a guy who's just sitting there like whatever. I want a guy who's pissed off that he's not getting the ball. I don't think he's that much of a distraction to his teammates. He just wants the damn football, and deservedly so.
I'll say this. With the exception of that Jalen Sutton interception, I know Devontae scored when I was out in Minnesota, but A.J. Brown took over that second half.
Right.
Those two touchdowns. Like, he just, he stepped the hell up, and, he stepped up when he needed to. And,
and that's what he's there for. I mean, dude, I can't tell you
to be the number one.
I can't tell you how many touchdowns I watched Jalen throw him in the corner. Right in front of me, sitting at the stadium. Right in that corner. Right in that same damn corner. Like,
he's faster than 90% of the people on the field. He's stronger than 80% of the people on the field. Yeah, we could.
He's stronger than any corner that's covered.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I mean, I just
no question.
Power everybody who's covering him. I mean, safety, corner. I mean, no one's stronger than AJ Brown.
I'm sorry. Bull and he can run.
Yep.
Yeah, very true.
Just put it where you can catch it, and you know what I mean. Just put it where you can catch it, and the guy's got it. So, I don't see him going anywhere. I really don't, unless he really is that big of a distraction. But if he was, I don't know if he'd still be here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because we heard this same thing last year and the year before that, he's not happy, he's not getting the ball. What was it? Last year he said the passing game needed work. And then Jalen had that press conference. Is that what y'all wanted to see? You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this has been a reoccurrence with AJ.
My thing on the other side with AJ is, you could be playing in Cleveland, one of these teams that are just flat out trash,
and you're getting targeted every single play.
You were in Tennessee and you had Ryan Tannehill throwing you the damn ball or trying to. Like,
trying to.
Just be thankful. You're on a winning team, a winning organization. The Eagles didn't have to pay you.
That is true.
It's
true.
Just on the flip side of that coin of just be grateful where the hell you're at. I mean, you could be playing for one of these loser teams that hasn't, won jack in past years. Current teams that haven't even been to the damn Super Bowl. Just be grateful and thankful.
I agree. I agree.
And I'll say this.
I'll take his paycheck. If you don't want it, I'll take it.
So much about Howie, but, Jeff Lurie really don't put up with the nonsense like the whole thing, the debacle with T.O. and McNabb 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we'll see the debacle again, but
the only way I don't see the Eagles bringing A.J. Brown back is because they got all these guys on defense they got to pay.
But AJ's contract's already figured in, right? He's already paid. Saquon's paid. Jalen's paid. Everybody on the offense is already paid.
Except Goddard.
Except Goddard. I don't see Goddard. Sadly, I don't see Goddard returning.
Me neither. I think he's a casualty of the cap.
I believe he is. Just like Ertz was, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was. I see Goddard being, one of the casualties. Unfortunately, he's a hell of a player. I hate calling him Dallas, but that is his name. So you know what I mean?
Call him Philly G.
Yeah,
Really?
Philly G.
I called him DG. As soon as they drafted him, I was like, he is DG. We won't even say his first name.
There you go.
We will disown him. I watching this team over the last few years, watching what they do post bye week, and kind of getting geared up for the second half of the season. I think we're in for a wild ride in a good way.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Nick Sirianni, I think Ed said earlier, Nick Sirianni is 4-0 coming out of the bye. Much like Andy.
I was going to say, Andy had a stellar record coming off the bye.
Was amazing coming out of the bye. So
absolutely.
So we keep that record going. We keep this rolling. We stay healthy. I can see us making that. We're the team to beat. If we can stay healthy, we are the team to get past.
I think you see a lot of Barkley / Tanks Bigby in that running game starting.
Fuge, I would love to see
pass.
that.
Oh my God, a nice little
love to see that.
Nice little 1-2 punch, little thunder and lightning.
Yeah,
I think that's what
Bigsby come from anyway. Dude, this guy's amazing.
Jackson,
At least last weekend, this dude. What the hell?
Came from Jacksonville for 2 draft picks.
Choo. Boy, give him the ball.
Well, I think Petula is going to set up that remedy.
Yep, I'm agreeing with you. Yep, absolutely. Because you get them, you can get those two going. Then when you put them in there, right? There's no more like, okay, Shipley's in. They're not running. They're definitely passing type stuff. Bigsby, Barkley, you put them both. You put one of them in there. You don't know. Are they going to run? They're going to pass. Both guys are capable of doing both. So, I think that 1-2 punch, that thunder and lightning, Tom, like you were talking about. I think
Charlie Garner, Ricky Waters action, thunder and lightning.
Yep. Hopefully we found it here.
1995, 96.
You know it. Well, look, I want to. Against Tampa. I want to thank you boys for covering for me tonight. I really appreciate it. Hey, I didn't notice the start of the show. I didn't see any music. Were you guys experiencing technical difficulties, or did I just miss the opening music?
I think you missed the opening.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you just missed the opening. I definitely heard it. I definitely sat for it. I'm
gonna go back and watch just to make sure.
You do that. Alan's a witness to the music.
I heard it. I listened to it. It was playing.
Did Fuji sing it a cappella?
Nah, I don't sing. I wish I could.
It's a fire song, man. I might start singing it.
Look, the Fuji Philly Flair song is by far the best on the network.
Oh,
dude, by the way, if you have not watched Fuji's Philly Flair, you need to check it out. Wednesday, right, Fuji?
This week it's Thursday.
Oh, it's Thursday. Whatever. This Thursday.
You're right, Wednesday.
Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
You got it. Well, look, boys, I'm
appreciate it for the accolades, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Of course. I'm getting geared up here. I can't wait for a little look. Looks like Green Bay here on Monday Night Football coming up. But I think that'll do it for us. At least I know the music will get played on our way out of here. I don't know. I didn't catch it on the way in.
Here he goes.
But for Alan Andrew Cabbage,
I heard it, baby.
For Mike Fuji, I'm Tom Kelly. This is the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. Enjoy the music if you didn't hear it in the opening of the show.